Welcome back to a very basic space program. Last time, well, we did all the maneuvers, but anyway, this time, we finally finished building the Pilgrims. So we're of course going to launch something else. So, the Pilgrims have been finished building. We've finished the Pathfinder as well. We're actually rolling out one of the Pilgrims onto the pad, but we've got 13 days. Because of the points we've put into our build queue and everything, we've actually shortened the time for their building. So we've got plenty of time now. We've got, that'll be launching in probably, I think it's about 7 days to roll them out. So we'll wait until we're about 8-9 days before we'll actually need redoing the pad, don't we? So we'll probably launch Pilgrim 1A first, the first one. We'll rename it once it's out on the pad. We'll do that. Then we will actually launch the other two, one after the other. I'll probably launch Pathfinder first, then the second Pilgrim craft. And they're just going out to Jupiter, so that's dead easy. However, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to launch Leela 3D Asterisk. This is using the Asterisk engine. We have a mission to do a return thing for that. We also have a rotate the crew of the gateway. And I realised that we don't, well, it requires that I chose it because you will notice we're down low on funds because we put a lot of money into some new craft actually, okay? But I realised that we didn't have a craft to bring a new crew up with. We have one on station to bring back, but to do a rotation of crew, I have to bring a crew up. So although we get some funds for this, I've had to build a craft to do it. Now the good thing is this will be after they've completed their, whatever it is, 180 days or whatever on orbit. So they'll come down, we'll put another crew up, they'll start their time on orbit. And the good thing about that is that we'll get $1 million for them. So the Earth Gateway 1 crew, when they come down, will actually give us $1 million funds. So that's a big positive for us. Anyway, let's stop talking. Let's get some craft launched. Let's get this this Leela launched. So here we are with Leela 3D, and it is doing its usual thing of, well, it's going to be launched. It's going to be launched on a craft that you've seen before. It's the Javelin 75, and I'm still having the debate about whether I want to actually keep the Javelin 75. It's actually reasonably cheap to build, is the big bonus for it. However, I think even just having the solids be sort of ejected would probably be a good thing. I think that would give us a little bit of extra. I know a lot of people got annoyed by the fact I welded them on. But to be fair with you, it's not actually changing the delta V availability of the craft much, which is quite interesting actually, because of the fact we continue to get a little bit of thrust from them. They sort of offset their mass a little bit, but anyway, it's not a huge thing because the stage is pretty okay. I'm going to get this into orbit, and then we'll get it over to the moon and possibly do something with it before we have to launch any of the missions to Jupiter. Right, so we've finished the first stage, and yeah, I'm just looking at this, and I'm looking at the delta V available for on-orbit stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, we would actually be better off not having a third stage on this, or more accurately, not having the second stage. If we didn't have the second stage, I actually think we would have plenty of delta V. I think we'd actually be fine for getting to orbit. So I'm not sure why I haven't removed that. I know on some of the versions we've actually stripped out the second stage or replaced it with a Hydrolock stage. Every time I look at this craft, I just think I could do it better now. So I do think that we'll probably redesign it, but make it something like a Javelin, what, a J100 or something like that. Give us that range of options, because the 75, I think it was a good workhorse. It got us our first crewed landing on the moon and first recovery, but we can do that in one launch now with the J200. And in all seriousness, we could actually do it we could do it easily with the J200. I could put a base down on the moon and do it. So, you know, with a J100 we could have done both without having to launch two craft. And I think the Javelin 75 is probably going to go in the bin as soon as I get my new engines. I think that's the plan. I don't really want to build another craft and then keep swapping them out. So we'll build, I think our final set of engines are going to come along soon. We've got them. We've now got the science, so we do have some of the stage combustion top end engines we can now get at, so we can start thinking about using them. Anyway, this stage is going to burn out, and we've got but moments left on the next stage. I think it's actually quite a long burn time. It says it's going to be, oh, actually, you know what? I tell a lie. This stage is actually going to use a lot of it. Originally, it wasn't showing up as using a lot. It's that second stage seems to have just almost faltered in its time. I'm not entirely sure why. I wonder if it's because the solids don't detach, and so it goes up quite steeply. So it turns over quite quickly. That might be the reason. We might have an odd sort of thing there where we're going through the low atmosphere quite a long time. We're losing a lot of delta V. I don't know. What I can say is that we do have plenty of delta V on this thing to carry out the rest of this mission, I believe. Actually, I haven't checked. Is this the old or the new? Yeah, we're still using the old transfer stage. We haven't even operated the transfer stage on this, which is crazy. That is actually crazy. So the aim of this is we've got to put it on the far side of the moon. It's a far side landing. Transmit some data. I don't even think it's a sample return requirement. I'd actually is it even a? I don't think it's a. Is it a sample return? Far side lunar landing. It's not. I don't even need to return the sample. So this thing, you know, I could just land it and leave it. What I could do is, if this fails, we'll just use one of the new, the Pioneer to carry out this mission. I'm quite annoyed, actually. I thought we had a sample return. That's annoying. We might have been keeping this for a sample return, and I didn't realise it. Naughty me. Oh yeah, I forgot those are potentially relightable, aren't they? Yeah, they've got one ignition left in them, so we could potentially use them, but we're not going to. We're not going to do that. Right. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll put a little bit of RCS on and thrust out. Just move us away from that, please. We seem to be stuck. Is it because we've got a save going on? Quite possibly. Right, we're just going to pull that forward. There we go. That's good. And then we're going to have to do some other bits and bobs right now. So I'm going to set the maneuver up, and then we shall be ready to go. Right, we have our maneuver set up. It's 50 minutes away. So we're going to, I think I'm going to warp towards it, then redo it. Yeah, let's warp towards it, then redo it, because we know that it gets a bit special. So we're going to do that. We're going to do intercept with Hoffman transfer. We're going to come along here. We're going to do this. We're going to come and do this. We're going to pull this back just a smidgen. I don't care which way around I'm actually approaching the moon for now, it's because it doesn't matter. All I want is a nice low periaps. There we go. That's the one I want. How low are you? You're not low enough. Not too low. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to execute the node. There we go. RCS will kick in, hopefully. Where are we? Hello? How are we? We're just gonna, can we control from here? Why is it going the wrong way? Seems to be turning the wrong way. Interesting. Does not seem to want to just turn. I've noticed this sometimes happens. It sort of gets into a mood, and it doesn't want to actually find the node. And the problem we've got is this thing, I really want to use some of its fuel for capture. So I'm actually... Right, where is it? Why is my node so far around? Why are we facing completely the wrong direction? We weren't earlier. I actually noticed this. We were right near it. So we've developed a spin. We're going to be late. That's great. To be fair, that's not a big issue. We can RCS out time. That doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to you at all. All this RCS right now, though, is messing it up big time. Yeah, this actually annoys me. This does actually annoy me when it's sort of like it doesn't understand urgency. So it was like, it was going the other way. And now it is going to slow down, not perfectly wonderful. This engine has got gimbal, so we, as soon as it gets round, it could fire, and we're now a minute behind our schedule. So just swing it round and then fire the gimbally engine. That's what we want to do. That's what I should have done this manually. It would have been a better idea, I think. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing this? Seriously? You are kidding me. Come on. The problem is, my reaction times are not good enough to shut off when we get to the correct time for this. If it was a more up-to-date engine, we'd definitely go with it. But I don't have the extra burn, so that's the annoyance. Right, come on. Come on, just get across. So it's actually slowed itself down without being on the node, which is really annoying. We're now a minute, almost 2 minutes off where we need to be. Come on, fire! Just fire the engine. Just fire the engine, please. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, we're gonna have to go around again. We are going to have to go around again because it's 2 minutes. Brilliant. Superb. What we're looking at, we've used a huge amount of fuel. Brilliant. Right. What we'll do is we'll just, and you'll notice it's now drifting past because, of course, it is. There we go. We can actually get rid of that. Let's do it. Intercept with Hoffman transfer again. 1 hour. There is no way to win with this. The moving when you time warp is a problem. So you can't then set the nodes up. If you set the node up and then do it, brilliant. But right, execute next node. There we go. Right. We have used a huge amount of delta V there. Now, the positive is I do have actually RCS up here we could use, and there is plenty of it. But I shouldn't have to. I don't even need to return this, so I think we may just leave it sat on the surface. Did we have to return last? Yeah, we had to have a return thing, didn't we? So let's see if this actually puts itself in the right place now. So let's have a look. So we've now used about over a third of our RCS just aligning this, and it's still not aligned. It's still taking its time. Come on. Oh my lord. Physical time warp. Go on. Yeah. This is wonderful. You know, it's used the stuff, but then it's decided to slow itself down again. Alright, are we going to do it this time? Is it going to go into time warp? Oh, it's slowing itself down. It's zeroing out its rotation. So there we go. And now it's decided to do it. And of course, the maneuver node is completely messed up, but it's all right. We go through the probe running out of fuel. We can actually, you know what? I need to set things to debris because that annoys me a lot. Right. Here we go. Oh, start burn in. And of course, when we do this, it actually goes past it. So now I don't have a choice. It will now start when it wants. And it's now actually not on the node. There we go. Oh, no, not on the node this time, though. Interestingly. It's almost like if you knock it out of its own cycle, it doesn't like it. Right. I am going to, if I haven't already cut this down, I'm going to cut this down. We'll get to the point where the burn's finishing, and let's see just how badly it's done. Right, we are coming in. We've got about 12 seconds, 10 seconds to go. Are we actually going to have the node appear at any point? I mean, it should be coming into view very soon. And there we go. Oh, hello. Not terrible. Not terrible. So let's do a little bit of... No, other way. Oh, it's got to save, because we've got to save every second. That's one thing we have to do with the current save. It must save it every time I'm not pressing a button. Or even when I am pressing them. Right. So we're going to do this, and we're going to pull it down to a nice close approach. What have we actually got floating around here at the moment? We've got your DQ probe, you're the Egress 1C launch vehicle. We could actually get rid of some of this stuff that's floating around, couldn't we? Some of the stuff in orbit we could get rid of. Yeah. I'm loath to, though. Right, I think that's where I want to be. Right, turn off the RCS. Off we go. When's that going to be? That's going to be in 4 days. Let's have a look at our schedule. We've got... well, 3 point whenever that is. We have 12 days. We're probably going to want to capture this, then launch the Pilgrim, I think. Actually, what we can do is we can have a look and we can see how long does the rehabilitation take? Hours. Okay, so yeah, that's not a problem. Has that been? That's been about 2 hours already. So that will be about 4 or 5 hours. So almost as soon as they're done, we can actually roll out another craft. That's good. And it takes about 7 days. So yeah, we're running okay for that. I don't have a problem. Right. Let's warp some time then. Let's just you know what? Can I just warp to there? Is that a thing? Oh, do not tell me you just did what I think you just did. Oh. Did you just... Yes, you did. Okay. Right. Let me check the contract again. Far side, transmit stuff, land on the moon, do it within there, do the... Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. Put us into retrograde. This thing's going to crash into the planet. There's no nuclear power on it, is there? No, there is not. You know what? Just fire the engine. We'll do that. And we're just going to bring it down all the way. Superb. It will burn up upon re-entry. There we go. Superb. Literally just going to turn into a rock. And we're going to see what happens. There we go. We could have actually fired it into space and just got rid of it, but I actually don't want the rubble anymore. There we go. Done. Right, that's that done. If that passes through the planet, I will be amazed. So what we'll do is, we'll get rid of... Yeah, that's a perfect example of that mission is a fail, because there was no way we were going to get an encounter. It's taken me too long. Congratulations, Leela. I didn't trust your Astra's engine anyway, so now we just deal with it. There we go. Do that. Do we have any... We've wasted... I mean, the funds are wasted. We're low on money as it is, but... have we got any data we can get? No. Mass spec. Running. Stopped. Do that. Extend all of these. There we go. Wow, you can extend some of them. You can expect 1 or 2 of them instead of all 4. That's really interesting. Get the landing gear down. Smack it into the solar panels. Oh, it just misses it. Can we pull that in? Can we extend it? No, because it's stored. So half of them are stored, half of them are not. Very odd. Right. To assist in all of this, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just do all the things. Do all the things. There we do. Do all the things and do all the things. There we go. So this might return through the atmosphere. We're not entirely sure. There we go. That's it. Fine. Parachutes will fail deployment because they're too high up. This is all going to burn up. That's good. Yeah, can you tell I'm annoyed by that? Yes. I am very annoyed by this craft. I'm very annoyed by everything that just happened. Comment down below. Are you annoyed by things like that? Yeah. Right, let's go and launch something else. Right, so after our last frustrating mission, shall we say, that ended prematurely, we're gonna try and launch one of our pilgrims now. One of the first attempts at launching a pilgrim. In an ideal world, I would launch the one to the moon first that we're actually got in the build queue currently. It's actually building, and test its landing. Unfortunately, I did not have time for that. So we're going to launch 2 of them, and then we're going to figure out if they can land. If they can't land, oh, we're about to go. Ooh, engines are lit, and we're going for solids light any second. And there we go. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll send these out. They have technology on board that allows them to gather science, so we'll decide on what we want to do with them when they're actually en route. They have enough to basically either be orbiters around maybe some of the inner moons of the Jovian system, or landers on the sort of extreme moons on the edge there. So we've got a bit of give, which is good. I like this. I like the bit of flexibility. But of course, we will be testing their landing capability by using them on the moon, and I think there should be enough delta V there for the moon. So we'll have a look. Anyway, craft's on its way. We're going to put it into a lunar equivalent orbit, a moon inclination orbit. I'm going to get it up there. Of course, you've seen the Javelin 200 before, which is what we're using. That's why all 3 of these craft took so long to build. After these 3, the next Javelin 200 to launch is a big one though. So let's get this up into orbit and then see what we can do. We have we've got the solids should be going. There we go. The solids are gone. Good. The solids are clear. And on we go with our core stage. First core stage is out. We've lost the solids before that. Main engines on the second stage are on, and we are off. This is the one that's going to give it a good push out. We've still got the fairing on because we're not quite out of the fixed, well, the atmosphere of any sort of description yet. As soon as we get out, that fairing will be gone. Fairing is now gone. Everything is clear. We can actually go in and have a look at the craft, and if you do just a rotate around, you can see we've got our big sort of transfer stage to the Jovian system. On the top there, we've got our inter-Jovian system. You can't see because the light will see that more closely, or when we actually get into the sunlight. And then you can see the lander just sat on the top there, and it looks a bit weird. Is its legs in the right place? Uh-oh. Has this actually generated correctly? We will find out shortly. We have had an engine failure on this stage, so I'm just going to pin this because I'm a little concerned that as our mass gets lighter, we might have a problem with this. The thrust might be a little bit off. We seem to be okay at the moment. It's not like these engines actually at the moment to have problems, but I suppose we've got 8 of them, so it's not a huge issue. I'm tempted to shut down the partner engine, but we are tight on time on this one. Time to our apoapsis and everything is a little bit tight. We've got 2 minutes of burn. Do I dare do it? Let's see how it copes. Right, we're coming into orbit. I've managed to not shut down that engine. That's good. So we get into orbit. That's nice. We can just separate now. Turn the RCS on. Give ourselves a little push away. We have 2 engines on the next stage, which is nice. Are we going to generate a roll? I don't think we are. Right. Get rid of that. Let's do our transfer to Jupiter. Right, we have a maneuver there. I'm going to include the burn, the capture burn, because sometimes it gives you a bit of a nicer thing. So we're going to create the node, I think. Lowest delta V, when's that going to be? Create node. How long is that going to be? It's 12 days. Okay, I'm happy with us sitting on orbit for 12 days. We have an awful lot of delta V available. In fact, we've got excess. I wonder if we could take that with us to Jupiter. It'll be an interesting little experiment anyway. So we could actually try and take that whole payload to Jupiter. What are we looking like for electricity? We are, I believe we're pretty much okay. Yeah, we are. Electric charge is going down, but I'm assuming if we shut off the avionics, we'd be okay. So that's a potential. Let's do that. Let's shut off the avionics and see what happens. So if I shut down this avionics, let's have a look. Shut down avionics, and what's it do for us? Yeah, we're actually gaining electric charge now. So yeah, we're actually, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm happy with that. So I think we're gonna set that node in 12 days, 11 minutes as our departure burn. I'm going to bring the other 2 up as soon as they're done, and we'll do the same thing, and then we'll just have a big departure, well, montage, or I'll just do the departure burns one after the other. I don't think I need to show you the others getting into orbit though, do I? Right, with the 3rd launch completed, we now have 2 of our Pilgrims and the Pathfinder C1 in orbit, and they've all got really nice departure times over the next sort of 6 days. Interestingly, not on the window we said, so we actually had a few days extra that we could have gone for, so we didn't need to spend all the money we spent. So I'm going to get along. The first one to depart is the Pathfinder C1. Let's get that one out there. So we have Pathfinder C ready to do its first maneuver. It's going to happen in 3 minutes. It's positioned itself nicely. Let's just actually execute the node, actually. There we go. Interestingly, for this one, we can see how much it says it's going to need for circularizing. So if we just bring, no, that's the wrong button, sea monsters. If we bring this up, we can, no, not like that. It's doing its time warpy thing, is it? Is it doing anything? Probably need to put the RCS on. There we go. Oh, this is interesting. Got a bit of RCS dance going on. Interesting. What if we do a bit of that? Just ease it off a bit. Would that make it better? Yes. So MechJeb doesn't like it being when it's on fine controls. That's interesting. Do a bit of that. Do I actually, we do have probe control, don't we? Yes, we do. We do have full control, that's all right. Right, I'm gonna just make it warp forward. We'll warp it forward, get it to do its departure, then we'll see how it goes. Right, let's see. Start burn in some time. Get off, there we go. Oh, stock, I hate stock. So stock actually then throws it up a bit there, that's interesting. Is it gonna depart? Why is it not departing? Why is it not firing its engines? That's interesting. Is it a glitch? I think it's not on the marker bus. There we go. Right. Now it shouldn't need RCS again, but it is using RCS. Let's get the RCS off. We have plenty of RCS on this stage, actually. We've got little balls around there, so we've used about a third of it, which, interestingly, I've just realised that is the same amount of RCS that we used to have on the craft. We've just made it in more spheres, smaller spheres. Yeah, we've got more spheres of the same size, actually, thinking about it. We used to have 4, and now we've got, I think, is it 6 or 8? Yeah, so we do actually have a big chunk of RCS there. Right. Of course, we're departing on the dark side. You can see that we have Pilgrim 1A and Pilgrim 1A. I need to rename them. I'm not sure. We'll call it Pilgrim 1A1 and 1A2 until we decide what their intercept is going to be. Let's have a look. Where is this supposed to be going? It's supposed to be going to Jupiter. What's it supposed to look like when it gets to Jupiter is the question. I've not even looked at this because I always think, you know, I think you're preempting it a bit. Ooh, what's that? Oh, I know what that is. That's the other Pathfinder that's on its way to Jupiter, isn't it? Or it is actually at Jupiter. Right. So it's going to come in. Is that going to be quite... Ooh, I want this one. I want this one to come in quite polar. So what's its periaps looking like? Its periaps is nice and low, is it? Yes. That's a nice low periaps. We can deal with that, can't we? That is tight. So if we do a nice low periaps like that, then capture, and then we just, you know, do all the stuff and things, it'd be awesome. Right, I'm going to get this one done, and then I shall see you at the end of it. For some reason, we are burning completely off target. Can you see that? It's like it's not actually burning on the target. What is that about? That's special. Let's have a look. What are we looking like? Are we actually in the Jupiter sphere of influence either? It is. What on earth? That's just weird. That is just weird. Let us do a little bit of RCSing off. It shouldn't be doing anything right now, actually. Oh, we can actually probably bring it through RCS all the way down, can't we? I wonder how close we can get it, actually, thinking about it. Oh, of course, we've got to save. We have to save at all times. So I'm going to get the RCS and bring this down. I don't know how low it will go, but I'll take it as low as we can suitably, because we'll probably have to do another burn. We have another 1,400 in that stage, which actually may do more than just capture it. We'll do a biggish capture burn. What's our inclination? It's going to be, oh, it's almost perfect for going to one of the moons, actually. Oh, dare we go and orbit something like Io or Europa? That'd be quite cool. I would love to send a craft to Europa, just because Europa. Titan, we're already sending some landers to Europa. I'd love to send a lander to. I'd really like to send rovers to all these, but then I suppose for science you could get a vast amount from them. But other than that, we're actually going to be at a point where we have to send rovers to get funds. So that's going to be the point we're at. Unless we continue to put crew into space, which is one thing we could do. Look at this. This is coming in, isn't it? Wow. Yep. This is coming in. I don't even know what that one is. I don't even know where the atmosphere is on this thing, so yeah, we're just gonna keep coming in. And actually, this is actually doing us good. This is doing us a favor, because we want to be highly inclined, don't we? How close can I go is the question. Bit more. That's perfect. That is, you know what, a bit more. How close is too close? Yeah. So that's 1,400 kilometers? Let's go lower. Yeah. We're not yet into what looks like the clouds. I don't know if there's actually atmosphere you can see on this. I'm assuming there is. Let's go 6,000. There we go. 6,000 kilometers up. So we're going to get a really close look at it. And then the capture. will be that there, which is 300. And then change inclination. I am not sure what that will require. We'll have to have a look. So potentially we could do all of that with this, and then we can just bring it right down and get really tight on it. What I really like to do is put it into sort of polar and then bring it right down. It will mean that we get reduced signal transmission. If we keep it like this, we should have a situation where we can transmit to the Earth more often. But anyway, we'll think about that. So I guess we're going to have to monitor this one on its departures and so forth. So we'll keep that in mind. It should have come up on the calendar. It has. It departs in 1 day. So I guess we're going to jump over to Pilgrim then. I just did a time warp there, and I've deleted it without actually looking, but I did the time warp, and all of a sudden our node there that was about 300 meters per second actually went to about 44,000 meters per second, and I don't know why. I'm concerned that this isn't actually real right now, and it's something because we're focused on this is not real. So we'll have to see what happens. But I'm going to warp time forward, and we're going to jump over to Pilgrim 1A. We'll rename it to 1A1 or something, and we will set it on its way to Jupiter. Right, here we are with the required craft. This is the Pilgrim 1. So we're first of all going to activate that, and then I'm going to try and grab onto this, which is its avionics ring at the top there, and I want to rename the craft. Rename vessel. Rename vessel 1. There we go. We're going to call that a lander, actually. Accept that. Right. So that's number 1. Let's have a look. How are we doing? We have a node. It's 6,000. It's in about 5 minutes. It's over there, so we could go to it. I am concerned that we're not sort of doing stuff. And when we did transition here onto this screen, all the orbits were really jaggedy, and it took about 5 seconds before they actually straightened out. It was all over the place. So it wasn't a clear picture, so I haven't actually got it on the recording. But it was, yeah, it was interesting. So we're going to execute our next node and see what happens. Where's this going to go? Is this actually going to find where it's got to go? Let's have a look. It is moving. Is it moving towards where it needs to move? That's the question. Is it moving with the pace required for it to get to it is the other thing. So this thing needs to pretty much spin round. I'm gonna physically time warp it, which no doubt will throw off the orbital path and will end up terrible. Again, with this one, we want to get it so one of the moons that we're going for is at least on plane. Now, I am thinking, where do we want to land? We've got the 2 that we've obviously done science around. They would be the obvious choices because they should be the easier moons to actually get into orbit of. However, there is a debate there, isn't there? Capture and all that sort of stuff. It's an interesting one. We could go for Europa. Europa might be too much for this craft. We've definitely got enough for landing. That's the easy bit. It's the actual capturing at Europa, because it's about 6,000 meters per second, which we don't really have. So it would really depend upon using some other stuff, some of our landing fuel, everything. So we could do Europa with this, but it would be a bit tight. Similar story with IO. Again, it's another sort of capture and everything. The drop to IO is even more, though. It's even more of a push. So anyway, we'll see. I'm going to get this one going. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully we can actually figure out one of the planets, the moons, to actually land on. It's probably going to be Ganymede and Callisto, though, isn't it? Yeah, probably. Right, we are just approaching the end of our burn, and this time we've actually stayed on the node okay. So I don't know whether it's that initial craft and the fact that it's got a weird off-center balance situation or something going on. I don't know. We seem to be a lot better for this one, although saying that, we are actually off to one side again. These engines gimbal, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Right, do that, get rid of that, turn that off, thank you. Right. Just keep me on prograde, please. Thank you. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a look now and see how this is dealing with stuff. And is it giving us as good an approach as... Wow, there's some interesting stuff going on there, isn't there? Did you just see those lines? Those lines were going crazy. Right. Now this is where we get interesting, because for these ones, we're not that close. Wow, that is a close natural approach, isn't it? And of course, we now got this coming in. Right. Let's have a look. Set as target. What's your inclination? Wow, we're coming in the wrong way. Okay. So what if we do a little bit of, no, a bit of this. Put it all the way around. Okay. Is it going to let me go all the way around to the side is the question. The interesting thing is that is in a beautiful location there. So it might actually work out better for us to come in and then go out again. Oh, that periapsis. Oh, it's so tempting. Because we are right on it with that ascending descending node. But yeah, we'll do this. We'll come out the other way. Let's see what happens. Because we don't want to come in the wrong way. Because we know from past experience just how bad that is. That is a polar orbit. Which this would be perfect for the other craft, isn't it? We just pop it up when it comes in, do a little bit of tidying up, and it'd be sorted. Right. Let's have a look. How are we doing? It's going to be periapsis there. That is a low periapsis, isn't it? Right. Can we do a little bit of... No, I think that's going to be it, isn't it? So that puts us in a really inclined orbit, but it's not terrible. So if we did a capture there, actually, if we did our capture there, what does that do for periapsis? Does nothing. Our apoapsis is there, and that's out there like that. So then what does it take to do this? What does it take to do that? Thank you. We'll just, you know what? Just get rid of that to start with. I want to tag that, and then I want to put a node there. Right, and we've done this before. I know I've done this before. How much delta V is it going to take for me to circularize that? Oh, that's not pretty. It's not terrible though. Yeah, we can't get it perfect, but imagine it's about that. Imagine it's about that. What's that looking like for us? Oh, that's terrible. Okay, where are we coming in? Why have I now lost? We've now lost ascending, descending nodes. Is Callisto online with all the others? It is. They're all much of a muchness, aren't they? Let's do this one. Let's set as target. I've now lost my inclination points. Okay. Because this maneuver is over here. That's why. Get rid of that. Right, there we go. So we could do it all the way back up here, couldn't we? Could do a thing there. And then just give me, zoom in. Give me just that one. Right, can we remember how much is this going to cost me to do this? Oh, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Yeah, I would really like to do a different inclination change somewhere. I wonder whether, let's jump back to, actually we're going to do our little cheeky thing. So change inclination, after a set time, change it to 90, change it to 90 after, oh, I don't know, 400 minutes, 400 seconds. Create node. There we go. Don't want that. So we go back here. We come to our maneuver. We go over there. No, come back. Thank you. Come here. We zero that. We zero that. We zero that. And now we're back onto our original maneuver. It should be. Come on. There we go. Yes. Although it's moved a bit, has it? No, no, no. It has not. Right. So I've got 6 minutes to play with this. So what would we do? First of all, we get rid of that because I don't need to see it. Get rid of it. Thank you. Right. What could we do to change the position of this? Could we do a little bit of this? That would not do it. We could do this. Oh, now that's interesting. What's that? That's another one later on. We don't want that. And this is, it's freezing up again. I'm going to play with this. We're going to see what I can come up with. Right, I've come up with a burn. It's a bit of an odd one. We're actually going to go in to try and be in the same sort of orbital height as the Ganymede. So we're going to go for Ganymede with this one, I think. Well, I was tempted to go for Callisto. Let's do Ganymede with this one. And we'll try Callisto with the next one. So, yeah, I better execute that node. Get over there and do it. It should be okay to do it a little late. But what we're trying to do is we're going to try and put ourselves so that our inclination is reasonable. Then we're going to put ourselves so our periapsis is near that of Ganymede. We'll drop our apoapsis down when we do a capture to around here. Then we'll do our plane change just to match, and then we'll do our final sort of rendezvous type situation with it, I think. And that should be okay. It's not something I've done before like this. It's sort of like how you might do a docking. We're basically going to try and dock, which should mean we have almost no meters per second difference by the time we actually do encounter it. So we'll see. It might go horribly wrong, and you can all tell me off for it. But we've got delta V for this to do, so we'll see what happens. Let's have a look, see what it does. Right, we're coming in. It's good, and no, too much. Stop that. Hold it there. Right, what's my inclination? What's my thing? Okay. So I need to... What on earth is going on? Right, there we go. I now need to use some RCS for this. So let's have a look. How much RCS have we got? Because this is problematic. I mean, to be fair, we could capture at that altitude, but it's wasting my fuel, isn't it? Thank you very much. Let's get close up there. Let's have a look. We have a little bit. It's not brilliant. So let's see what we can do. Interestingly, obviously overshot. The engines are much more efficient than we thought. And I don't have another ignite on this one. Partly because I think we burned late, and that's it. That's the whole problem there. So we're going to have to counter that a bit. So we're going to come in, we're going to capture here. That's going to be horrible for Delta V, but we will see. We have got that 1,288 free. So that's what I'm bargaining with at the moment. So we're going to bring this down. We could end up using the RCS off the main craft if we need to for this. I don't really mind either way. Just bring this down as close as we can. Keep an eye on our... are we out of RCS? I think we probably are. Right, we're now out of RCS. So we're going to leave that. That's what it's going to be. We're out of RCS. We're going to have to use the RCS on the main craft now. Zooming in again. Thank you. So we'll use the RCS on the main craft to do anything we need to do. So what we will actually do is we will activate that. We'll pull it down here, and we'll pull this down here. There we go. Brilliant. Do that. And then, yeah, I think let's measure up and just see what we're going to do. So we've got 1,259. The problem is our periapsis is nowhere near our anything else. So let's just do this. What's it take to bring us in to a capture of some sort? There we go. I mean, that's 2,000, which is not bad actually. It's the getting lower that's the problem. So as we come down, we're going to have to sort our inclination out at some point, but basically we can get ourselves into this orbit for what, 1,000. We still got 300 and something. 3,300. 3,300. Come on, sea monsters, do the maths. 3,300. Do that. we could do, thank you, give me the node, right? We could do that at that point, and then that zeroes that out. Not sure it's the best time to do it, but you know, there you go. Pull it back the other way. Right, what is that? That's 900. So that's it gives us another 1,500. And then we could actually drop our apoaps at the same time, combine the maneuver sort of thing. In fact, we could do that with our capture. Could we? We can't. Unless we captured at a node. That's an option, isn't it? We could do that. We could capture a node, use our capture and our plane change and everything in one go, which is an idea. So that might be a thing. We'll think about it as we get going anyway. So this one is done. We're gonna leave this one. This one, of course, we're gonna rename to Ganymede, or it could actually be better for Callisto. This one gives us potentially Callisto vibes, is a thought, isn't it? Because we could do a capture here. Let's have a look. We could do a capture there, right? That's a capture. Just capture it. Thank you. It's not great. I know it's not great. No, actually, we don't want to do it like that, do we? We want to do it. We do want to do it all the way down here, right? And then what we could do is we could do a capture. I'm going to have to play around with this. We could do a capture lightly, like so. Then we could do a add maneuver. We could do a plane change here, like so. No, wrong way. That's the way. Ooh, that actually almost got us an intercept then, didn't it? All the way around. Bit more. Bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, 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 more. And there we go. Okay. And then we could, what's that going to cost us? That's 500. Previous one is 1,200. So that's 1,700. Okay. And then from there, then coming around, we could then do a, we need to get really close here because I need to put it on the correct mode right there. So add maneuver there. So that's another one. And that's going to be pulling us into, I don't know, pull it down like so. And what we really want then is an intercept to occur, which would be nice if we could get one. In fact, we could just do this another cycle round. Do that a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Just do that. Yeah, we could play with that. What's that going to be actually to get it down to that? It would take us to about here. Okay. Now I'm not gonna force this, but we can get a rough idea of. Come here. Thank you. Not that one. This one. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Did I get something then? No, we've got to go all the way around. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And there we go. Right. Then let's do a focus view on Callisto. How much would that be to capture? Just out of goodness. Can I can't put a node in. All right. Oh, that's a killer. There's a limit on the number of nodes you can do, is that right? Okay. Right. So at that point, I don't think capture is going to be too hard. We're looking at 1,100. We're looking at 5. So that's 1,700. 4,700. 4,700. It's only going to be 2,000 to capture from that position. It's only going to be 2,000 because it's only 2,000 to pull up the orbit. So I think that's doable. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So let's run through it. We do a light capture here, then we do a plane change there, then we come around, we do another capture approach there, and we basically want to try and dock with it is what we're going to try and do. That's what we're going to try and do as best we can. Right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So get rid of all those. We're going to make this one the Callisto one because it's high. Yeah. Let's make this one the Callisto one. And finally, we have our second of the landers. We're actually going to rename it because we now know it's going to have to be Ganymede because we've done all the calculations for the other one. So we need to, let's have a look, rename. This is going to be Ganymede. I can't even misspell Ganymede. That's terrible. I am a terrible person. How do I not be able to spell Ganymede? It's not. It's one N. It's one N. Ganymede, as in the drink. There we go. We should probably actually change it to a lander. Thinking about it. There we go. To a lander. Accept that. Wonderful. Right. We're going to execute that node. We're going to turn on its avionics. Let's do that. Where's its avionics? There we go. And we're going to let it get on with its stuff and things. And it shall hopefully put itself into a nice position for us. The problem with this one is Ganymede is... It's further in, so it should actually be easier, fingers crossed. My concern is one of these don't work. And then we've got to take a contract for it and all that sort of stuff. Oh, did we take the contract? Ugh. I've launched these and I've not taken the contract, have I? That's annoying. I will take the contract as soon as this one departs. And then you know what? If we succeed, I shall give myself the contract because I think that's only fair. Yeah, I dislike the contract system as it is at the moment with things like this because, yeah, stuff and things. I will be doing a playthrough that involves launch complexes and programs soon. I have actually 2 series in mind for that, but we will see. Oh, we'll get this going. Oh, there we are. Yeah, I've got 2 series in mind for that. One of which includes a little mod pack of my own that I will be using. You can guess what nation that will have parts from. But anyway, I'll get this one out to Jupiter, and then we shall see what's going to go on with it. Right, our burn is complete. Let us see. We're going to get rid of that. Oh, come on. No, do that. Yeah. Put it on prograde. Thank you. Right, let's see what it's actually done for us. Remember, we're aiming for Ganymede. So that's the aim for this one. Whether we use the same sort of approach we've used in the past, where we sort of come in. Wow, that's not an encounter that I was planning on. Is that because we've got a gravity assist out to it? How is that even possible? Have we actually got a gravity assist off it? I think we have. I think we have a massive gravity assist. Okay, that's an interesting one. Right, I didn't realize you get such a... Well, obviously you can get a good gravity assist from there. So let's set that as target. What's our inclination? It's terrible. So let's do a bit of... No, other way. We're going to go back the other way. And of course, it's going to then put us onto a horrible inclination. But that's okay. We can work with that. We can work with inclination problems. I think this one will do the old-fashioned come in, see what we can do when we arrive. Because I think that's probably the better way of dealing with it. We did get an encounter there, interestingly. What I'd really love is my ascending node on my periaps would be perfect, and then I can actually just fix it when we've captured. Which might be the better way to do it for this one, if we can get that periaps and ascending node close to each other, but they're not going to do it, are they? They're going to remain miles away from each other. Of course they are. So then we're going to flip it round straight through the planet. There we go. We're getting a massive thing here. So this should be a braking burn now. So we should actually be basically... I wonder if you could use a gravity assist off Jupiter to get down to Mercury. That would be an interesting one. Get down to Mercury and then use a Mercury assist to pull it down a bit more into Mars. And then pull from Mars down to Venus, and Venus down. Yeah, you'd be all sorts of weird weird assists going on there, wouldn't it? Be some double assists and things like that. Right, there we go. Right, what's our inclination? 60. That is not good. Where is the... it's there though. So that's an easier one to do. Let's see. So it's 60 there. So if I did other way, if we did this, how much is that going to cost me to get in the plane? It's not brilliant. But it's basically, it's like using our funds up a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not too unhappy with that. What's the... It's still 10. What is it to get it to less than that? We keep getting odd interactions here because we're getting secondary flybys and stuff like that. So we're obviously getting a nice breaky burn that's meaning we're getting secondary interactions with Jupiter. So we could do that all the way down. That's 1,000. That's not good. Unless we do, as soon as we come in, add maneuver. How do I get you to be near you? That's the question I'm now asking myself. What about a bit of this? I suppose that does significantly help, doesn't it? And then pull that in. What's that at? That's at that there. So if we just keep doing that, that's what's the ascending descending node on that? That's actually not bad, is it? That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. And then put a bit more of this in. How low can we go? Ooh, got an encounter with IO. No, we know want IO. We don't want it. What's this? 7. So keep going. Right, what are we at? 6.1 for 90. And then that comes back. Okay, so that's the best we can get. And then oh, you know what? We can be cheeky. Can we be cheeky? Can we be cheeky? Possibly. No, I don't need to do that, actually. We don't need to do that. What we can do is we can do this. Pull that out to there. Then, that's a nice one. Yeah, I like that. I think that is the burn I want, isn't it? The burn that I deserve. Because then I can do a capture and a plane change at the same time there. Pretty much. So we'll be doing a bit of capture. And then bring up the plane, do that. And then we do a bit of would that be free? Would that be a free plane change? That's the question. Or would we just wait until we get to the far side? It'd probably be better at the far side, wouldn't it? So if we then put a node up here. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Oh, we're doing that thing again where we're glitching. Can we stop with the glitching, please? Right. I can no longer zoom in and out. Brilliant. Thanks for that. Superb. Right. Well, we're just going to assume that's the way to go then. Right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that when we arrive straight away. Perfect. Right. And then that's going to be rise up for Ganymede, isn't it? Yeah, this is the it's the Ganymede craft. So, yeah, I think that's as good. It's as good as we're going to get anyway. Right. That's going to take a big chunk of that, but then we're going to have to do a capture here, and we might as well use the rest of it because it's free. And then we can do potentially a bit of plane change at the same time, and it's free and all that stuff. We can count it out when we do that. So we need to get that on the timer. I shall run those through out of the sphere of influence, but from me until next time, have a great one.